that I am not the same person that I was even a year ago.
No.
As I've really like started learning more about myself. One of my friends, Joel, he's a poet. He's from New York, and he had asked me a question, and he said, "Who are you if you are not? Who are you if you are not a mother?
Yeah.
Who are you if you are not an actress?
Yeah.
Who are you if you are not these roles that you have been?"
These hats that you're putting on, yeah.
And I remember when he first asked me, I started crying because I had no idea.
Yes.
I had
gone through
no idea.
Yeah.
So that's the journey that I am on now. I'm discovering and finding out who I am. What is it that I like? I'm working on no longer being that people, pleaser. And I feel like that is how I got to my lowest. I became such a people pleaser that I lost sight of me. And I'm learning also in therapy that my whole life has been about pleasing people. Like as a child, it was all about appealing and being criticized, healthy, constructive criticism, but still it's criticism. Stand here, do that, be more funny, do this, and I had to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So that was the space that I was living in that was comfortable for me for so many years. And then once it was just I was so depleted, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
No.
So, but it's hard. It's not easy.
No,
making that transition.
Yeah, I went through a similar thing in terms of I would constantly focus on other people's lives, whether it was attracting friends who needed help or wanting to constantly help my family with things or being the fixer, being someone who was always solving problems. And I came to this realization that all of that was actually to avoid, one, me doing the work to figure out who I am, and two, which was difficult, and two, to feel like I have value.
I feel like a lot of women.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of men, kind of
Think about this.
think about it.
Yeah, it's true. No, but it's so true. It's like, I do find that if you constantly keep focusing on other, and I used to think of myself as just being like, oh, it's because I really want to help people, and I do, of course I do.
Yeah.
But actually, if I thought about the deep root reason, it was because I was trying to figure out my value, and the value I was placing on myself was through how other people valued
That was
me.
me.
And so when I moved to New York, I went through my caterpillar butterfly phase where I got to a place where no one knew me. I didn't know anyone myself. I was by myself a lot. Like I was spending full days on my own. Couldn't work. I couldn't distract myself. And I had to sit with myself and be like, who the hell am I? Because I can't be a dietitian anymore.
Yeah,
I don't have my job anymore.
Yeah.
And I have no external hats that I'm wearing. And so I buried myself in cooking for Jay. I was like following around trying to jump on his bandwagon and trying to jump on his purpose. What I realized was jumping on someone else's purpose, if you don't have it yourself, your energy runs out. Because you don't have the same fuel, the same desire that's burning inside of you to do it. And so I was running out of fuel, I was running out of energy, and I was running out of any kind of motivation or desire to even continue on every single day because I hadn't figured out what I wanted. And so I do think as we're growing older, it's like you think it's going to be a slow but upward movement. What I actually think it is you are on track, you completely fall off track, you get back on track, you find your way back on track. Through that getting back on track, you learn some lessons. You stay on track for a little bit longer. You then fall back off track.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what this book said, when things fall apart.
And have that expectation that that's what it's going to be, right?
Exactly. Because I feel like with me and how I've been taught and I just learned is kind of like you do to try to get to this goal, right?
Yeah.
And this goal is, let's just say, figuratively speaking, like heaven, no matter what that goal is, whether it's a house or a relationship or work. It's that feeling of, that once you get there, then you're never going to be miserable again. But that's not true. And in this book that I'm reading, When Things Fall Apart, she was basically saying, the author was saying, no, life is actually things fall apart, then you get back on track again. Things fall apart, then you get back on track again. It's amazing. Things fall apart, then you get back on track again.